spawning in the bottom left-hand position of Oxide. Representing the Afrika Freaks, it is the Blue Zerg player, DRG.
And spawning here at the spawning here at the top right corner of the map, it is the red Terran player from Brave Star Gaming. Give it up for Dream.
You know what? One of my favorite things that they added in StarCraft 2 was there was this little decals that can float next to your bases. It just adds so much style, and I'm so sad that DRG doesn't have his own.
Yeah, we've seen some funny ones actually, and also some cool looking ones as well.
Oh yeah, I think last game, or rather yesterday, I forgot who it was, but I think Creator had like a nice little anime picture on there, so I was like, oh, it's so cool. He proceeded to kind of get stomped on by Beyond, but he still did kind of a good job. Now here's something fun that's happening. We have, you see that hatchery right there? Now I know it looks like a third base, and technically it is the third base he has taken, but this is kind of strange. We're seeing a little bit of a block coming out here from DRG. We have seen players do this recently. Let's see, last series, I'm almost certain it was Ragnarok who did this against Beyond. And we see a very different response already. Dream throwing down the CC on the low ground and pulling SCBs to attack it. A little bit of a funny little workers revolt here, but yeah, should be seeing at least a little bit of annoyance come out for Dream here. The spawning pool may finish up in time to pop out a queen. I personally doubt it though. The hatchery is losing life. Yeah, so it looks like it's just going to be a little bit of an annoying thing here for Dream. Not really deterred from his build at all, just loses a couple minerals. It's really whatever. And yeah, Reaper heading his way across the map. I'm pretty sure DRG was looking for something different, but kind of must be at least a little bit sad he didn't get a bigger reaction there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he does cancel the hatchery. In the meantime, we do see the Reaper will be making his way into the main base, and ooh, nice save there.
Yeah, great save. Just moving around. Drones turning into structures here and there. The queen is still so far from popping out, though. So at least one drone is going to go down here. I wouldn't be surprised if another is. And there's at least 3 structures built. Can we get a 4th, ladies and gentlemen? No. Looks like it's just going to be those 3 built for now. And the Reaper will get shoot away, and another sport crawler forced to be made. So annoying. And I almost thought for a second he was going to go back in, but decides against it. Takes his drone, takes the money that is caused to be lost by canceling these buildings, and he's gonna go ahead. And I was gonna say make it on out, but Big Mama Queen over here's got something to say about that. Good going, girl.
Yeah, that means no Reaper to kind of get the secondary dive in for the scout, and also kind of you can pretty much spread the creep without worrying about too much about the creep tumor being killed off.
Yeah, it's actually kind of a big deal, you know. It takes a lot of pressure off DRG, and now Dream is going to have to wait. Well, he's going to go ahead and scout out as soon as these Hellions come out, if I were to reckon, but he's playing a little bit blinder right now, but it shouldn't be too big of a deal. We see a very standard 1-1-1 build coming out from Dream, the bread and butter of Terrans everywhere, and the really interesting part is to see what he builds out of this Stargate. It is going to be a medevac, as it is most of the time, but he continues that Hellion production. It's going all the way up to 5 now. Kind of a lot of Hellions there. Very Hellion heavy strategy. I kind of do like it against DRG, and especially in Oxide, you know. I feel like on such a small map, you want to keep the information on your opponents. You want to see if they're doing anything crazy, and actually going for a dive here into the natural base is going to go ahead and lose 2 Hellions right away. And Snoopy is kind of a shaky start for Dream in game number 1.
Yeah, definitely doesn't want to lose 3 Hellions off the bat. Right now, he was looking like he was going to go ahead and try to attempt a Hellion drop here with the medevac, but with only 3, you generally want 4 Hellions to go with that attack.
Oh yeah, a very declawed offensive move here coming out for Dream. And yeah, look, DRG's all over this. Queens are already getting into position to deflect, and I very much doubt there'll be much damage, if any, and yeah. Zerglings do end up blocking it, and Dream is forced to pick on up and move away. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, a big counterattack of Lings coming on in. Well, actually more like a kind of a splash of Lings coming on in. Not a big counterattack by any means. And actually, a landed Viking is going to do the first thing it has done in a long time. And it's going to go ahead and shoot these bad boys away. Has to go ahead and land again. Kind of annoying. Is it going to land a third time? I would love to see it just for the memes, but Dream is killing mine right now and just decides to fight over and go Overlord hunting.
Kind of reminds you of that Heart of the Swarm cinematics there with the Viking kind of
Oh,
dropping
yeah.
down.
Oh, yeah. Heart of the Swarm cinematics are just, mwah, you know? I mean, I thought I was going to be able to play Kerrigan, but no. I mean, that would have been cruel. Just,
Yeah.
like, pop her out of a hatchery. I mean, I feel like they may miss an opportunity there. If I'm being 100% honest. But it's okay.
Well, we
can
can
go ahead and see.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think we're going to talk about the same thing here, which were the upgrades coming on in for our friend DRG. Actually, starting way before the eBays of Dream even gets finished. So, I mean, we can just see how comfortable DRG is in this game. He deflected pretty much everything Dream wanted to do. He's gotten his creep spread, which for 7 minutes, or rather 6 minutes, it's looking incredible, and it's only getting incredibler. Fourth base going down as well, and we see DRG poised to take a very strong step into these macro stages of the game.
Yeah, I really like this. I mean, he hasn't really suffered any economic damage. He pretty much lost nothing. And yeah, he's going to go ahead and take this really, really early fourth base without any care in the world.
Yep, and as we say that, we're going to have 4 Hellions come on in. They're trying to line up the drone. Get kind of a shot there. Oh no, DRG kind of stopped microing at the last second. 4 drones will lose their lives, but for 4 Hellions, something tells me DRG's fine with that. But oh, okay, never mind. I thought he was throwing down more factories. Dream has 2 factories relatively early, and he's researching drilling claws, so, this is kind of strange, isn't it? I mean, generally you kind of get a higher racks count and you don't go, like, super, you know, crazy with the Widow Mines. But I kind of dig it a little bit. I mean, we see DRG is going to go for, looks to be a Ling Bane sort of style right now without any mutas. I don't see any Spire on the way, and we see him actually preparing for a big boss. DRG morphing and banings on the other side of the map, and Dream does not see it. And as soon as I say that, Dream loads up this medevac of Widow Mines and moves it across the map. So much of Dream is counterattacking right now. He's not going to have enough to hold, but a big Widow Mine shot at the flank here. DRG is still going to go ahead and crumble on through. He's going to go ahead and connect well with the SUVs in the main base. The medevac did get cleaned up, and the SUVs are dying by the dozen. Dream needs to get control of this game.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth here right now, but looks like DRG is getting the better end of this little engagement here. 17 SCVs going down as well.
Yeah, a little late to the draw. We see a Widow Mine drop coming on in for the 3rd base location, but I'm not even sure if Dream is going to be able to get out of here with everything. I mean, we see a couple of decent connections going on, you know, 7 drones do end up going down, but more and more SCVs are dying on the other side of the map. Dream has still not fully held this just yet. He just now repulsive of the 3rd had to lift off. Every SCV there died, and I mean, DRG is kind of looking at Dream and saying, look at me, I'm the Terran now. I'm doing incredible economic damage to our poor Terran player.
Yeah, now he's down 73 workers, well, now 79 to 58. So pretty much a 20 supply lead in terms of workers. And right now, Dream, he's going to have to get something done with these drops in order to kind of crawl himself back into this game.
Yeah, I mean, and his 2-2 hasn't even started yet. Meanwhile, DRG's is halfway done. I mean, he has the armory too, and the money. It just has to be an oversight. And there we go. Dream going ahead and spinning those up. But I mean, he is undoubtedly on the back foot here. We see a little bit of a movement on the main base here again from Dream, but I mean, DRG saw this coming like a mile away. It's a little bit slow. He's just kind of keeping his Marines there. He's a little busy on his side of the map. Some Lings being rascals, but I don't know. I feel like Dream needs to do something big here. Maybe these Widow Mines can get good connections, and I think his big investment is going to be the key to getting back into this game. He's going to clean up some creep as well. But it looks like there's no damage, or at least any significant damage. He just loses his Widow Mines and almost his medevac in that Widow Mine drop. And I don't know, I feel like Dream is just going to get stomped.
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind that throughout this whole game, DRG has been playing mainly Ling and Banelings. Now he is finally adding that higher tier unit in the Hydralisk, as the Hydralisk then has been plotted down. But yeah, it looks like DRG is pretty much in control of this game.
Yeah, that was a little weird how late that Hydrogen was. I mean, I almost thought, like, with this style, you just kind of go, Ling Bane, and then you set on that and you grab a quick hive, but I think he's just kind of favoring this really aggressive Ling Bane style for the time being. We see good splits coming on in against the Widowmines. Banelings still, a huge number of them do survive, and Dream is desperately trying to split. He's running back into his bases, but there's a lot of Zerg here. He's not going to die, but there's going to be immense economic damage as Lings flood into the third base mineral line. More Lings coming in for the reinforcements, and 8 SCVs going on down before the Lings get cleaned up. Meanwhile, a 5th base on the other side of the map for DRG is getting established. His 2-2 is finished, and I think actually it was finished for that fight, if I'm not mistaken. So just good trades, good economic damage, and a good lead coming out here. But here's the weird thing, Snoopy. Terrans are weird. Terrans, I think, are the weirdest race. Like, you can do as much damage as you want to them, like, as much as humanly possible, and it never really feels like they're out, right? It's just so hard to kill these guys nowadays. And we've seen that good Terran players, over the course of 10, 15 minutes, can really grind their way back into an advantageous position, or they just need one opening, and I hope Dream finds that soon. I mean, it looks like the plan so far has been Widowmines, but I want to see more committed bio drops, maybe just use the Widowmines a little more defensively, send your bio out there, because, I mean, I feel like he's weathered the storm. The armor supplies are roughly even. A big amount of Hydras are going to come on out now, and if you don't have the proper armor for that, I mean, see tank production just starting right now, you're kind of going to get rolled, so I would love to see Dream just keep DRG preoccupied.
Yeah, I mean, right now Dream has started to establish his 4th base, and now, oh my god, look at that! Look at those sensor towers. It's like covering all sides there, making sure that he doesn't get killed by run by banelings. But so really nice vision there by Dream.
Oh yeah, definitely a perfect Venn diagram kind of action going on there, which you gotta appreciate. Dream is going to go and deflect these Hydras right now. They're not really in big enough numbers, or upgrades really aren't that good enough yet to where they can take that fight. But the creep spread, I mean, it's just kind of telling the game of the story. DRG can do whatever he wants. It looks like he wants to try and find a fight, though. And I appreciate his enthusiasm, but I feel like, Dream's got a good bio force. He's got a tank on the way, He has a big supply block, actually. A ginormous supply block, stopping him from making these 2 additional tanks out of these factories. Meanwhile, the Widowmine drops, I think, actually found some good purchase as 12 drones end up going down. And you know what I said? Something just has to work once, right? And it's starting to work out. 12 drones is definitely going to be a bit of a wrench in the cogs here for DRG. Ghost Academy going down as well. Dream has managed to find himself in a rather stable position, Snoopy.
Yeah, he's been slowly getting some nice trades over the past few minutes, getting that nice Widowmine drops, and slowly but surely, as you say, Terran players, they just seem to never be out of the game. I think they're highly due to that, their friend, their buddy, Mr. Mule. But yeah, nice little setup here to possibly turn this game around and grab the momentum.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's never over till you lifted all the buildings and floated them to the corners of the map, says every Terran player. He's gonna go ahead and make a move onto this Planetary Fortress, though. A lot of SCVs will go down, but how about the army? The sandwich comes on in, but it doesn't quite kill the army. 15 SCVs and a planetary kill, though, is gonna happen. So good stuff there coming from DRG, but it's gonna lose a decent amount of army on the retreat. And now, what is this? Is Dream all of a sudden up almost 40 army supply? I think he is. His tank count is not terrible. 2 is, workable. He can do stuff with there, and Banelings are finishing on up, though. He is very deep on creep. This is going to be a very pivotal match. DRG is going to go ahead and lose all these queens on this flank, and I feel like Dream, he ran out of stim. He has to do another big one. The splits are not really happening, and DRG is collapsing on in. Dream is trying to micro the best that he can, but every Baneling hit is just so strong on this weakened bio. The Hydra upgrades are not really amazing, but they're still more than enough to clean it up, and DRG is able to stabilize once again. That's some great back and forth action here.
Yeah, now DRG is going to go ahead and potentially push forward. Yeah, it looks like he just has enough more swarm army coming across the map, and GG Dream taps out, or not? Yeah, Dream taps out, and DRG will take game 1 of this best of 5 series.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, ooh. You see, I felt it in my soul, Snoopy. I was like, for sure, DRG is in a great position here. And for sure, Dream took so much damage. but he's not really dead, is he? And that's kind of the problem with trying to kill a Terran player, is that if you do, it's just so difficult, you know? Mules will keep him in the game. They have a ton of mobility. They can counterattack you. I mean, it's rough stuff, and I feel like maybe there's an opportunity there for DRG there. Let me quickly make the next map here, which is Death, but here's the weird thing. I really felt like he stayed on Ling Bane for far too long, Snoopy. Like, do you agree?
Yeah, I feel so too. I feel like, there's a lot of times where Zergs do, kind of delay their tech and just mainly rely on Ling and Baneling. But the more common transition is into Fast Hive, into Ultralisk. But this time around, he just went straight into Hydralisk. But you know what? It worked out. DRG was able to kind of secure a nice economic lead throughout the whole early game, and basically he was able to afford to just kind of rely on Ling Baneling for quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to see him, like, regarding the Ling Bane. I mean, I was kind of surprised he just kind of stood on that for as long as he did, you know? If you're making Ling Bane, you want to be like, it has to lead to something, right? We saw his Hydra upgrades were so late to where, I mean, okay, so he still won the game, right? DRG still won. And I'm not complaining about that, but it was a lot closer than it had to be, is the main thing I'm saying. I would love to see a faster check transition or decisive move on in, full-on attack to the third base.
Yeah,
but that's
definitely.
neither here nor there. Hindsight is 2020 and is the name of the game in StarCraft most of the time, and hopefully DRG can take some pointers and bring it to this game. Or not DRG, sorry. Rather the mysterious player spawning in the top left-hand position of Death Aura. Whoever can it be is this blue weird bug player. It is your very own DRG. Representing a Freak of Freaks, going for a gas first, which is actually just an extractor trick, I'm pretty sure. No, it is not. Alright, we'll talk about that soon. Yeah. But as soon as Snoopy introduces this guy.
Alright, and here in the bottom right corner of the map is your regular human being, non-buggy, is the red Terran player from Brave Star Gaming. It is a Dream.
It's gonna have to be very brave indeed. We're seeing a gas first into a pool here for DRG, and let me go ahead and give you a little insight as to what this means. This could either be some really weird, extraordinarily defensive play coming up from DRG, the likes of which we've never seen before in the history of StarCraft. Or he could be trying something kind of crazy. I'm personally leaning on the kind of crazy side. He's going to start Link Speed. It looks like he just mined enough gas for that. And is he taking his natural? It kind of looks like he is. Okay, so this is strange. He's going to go ahead and mine a very fast Link Speed and take his natural, it looks like, by the looks of this drone, patrolling in that natural-based location. Or maybe it's just kind of a juke for the Reaper, I'm not sure, but my guess is, okay, he does take it. So, nothing super committed, but it seems to me he wants to get a couple of Lings, run them over to this side of the map, kind of hide him in a little pocket area, maybe by the third base or the fifth base location, you know? And then once he has enough, he wants to swarm the low ground and try and cancel the CC. I think that's what he's going for.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Dream, doesn't really send out the early scout, so he has no idea that this is coming. This could actually potentially be really, really good for DRG if he can cancel that CC, the second CC on the low ground.
Oh yeah, that would be massive. And look, here we go. Dream just sees it happening now. His Link Speed is going to finish as well. And at this point, what do you do as Dream? He's going to go ahead and keep the Reaper on that side of the map because he can't really run back home fast enough. An immediate cancel comes down and a successful aggressive move from DRG.
Yeah, so far, pretty much has paid off, I feel like. And DRG is going to enjoy kind of a slight economic edge here as we head into the 3-minute mark.
Yeah, here's the kind of weird thing, though. I mean, I feel like you don't really need Link Speed to do that, right? I mean, if you want to just grow... Like, he didn't cancel that CC with Link Speed at all. And generally, with those types of builds, you know, you don't really see the Zerg player getting Link Speed. He just gets an early pool and then just runs the Link to the other side of the map and hopes for the best, right? Because it's not like you're going to run up the ramp or anything.
Yeah.
So I would love to know DRG's thought process behind that. Maybe kill the Reaper early, but the Reaper already got 2 drones, so already kind of paid for itself. And DRG, you know, its tech isn't really advancing super well. It's not supposed to right now, but its economy is a little bit stunted, you know. Crease spreads not where it really should be. Third base timing not really where it should be. So, you know, he definitely isn't in an advantageous position right now, but it's not as much as I feel like it could be. And Dream actually going for the triple CC play here. Can't believe I didn't notice that earlier, but geez. It looks like he wants the macro one up even stronger. I feel like DRG is kind of counting on him to, just kind of play on the back foot. But Dream is just saying, no, you know what? You did your damage. I don't think you're going to try and do any more. And I think I'm going to try and get a leg up on you. Nings are going to run up the base and just see pretty standard stuff. Stim, Hellions, Starport. Not seeing that, but should see the Vikings somewhat soon. I don't think he has any idea.
Yeah, let's look at his vision. Yeah, he only sees the first CC, but doesn't see the third CC. He might want to go ahead and maybe send the Overlord, but he doesn't even have an Overlord nearby, so he's going to go ahead and pretty much be in the dark for the time being.
And I love the Pult Viking here from Dream. Just going hunting, trying to kill what it can. Again, most importantly, going to deny vision of that third CC. And here we go. Scan coming down in for Dream. You very rarely see it this early in the game, but he just wants that information. He sees the layer, the timing on that. He sees the gas timing as well. So very crucial information being gained here, but I don't know. I mean, DRG's third base is halfway through. I mean, and Dream is already muling up, so I kind of am sweating for him just a little bit here.
Well, DRG is going to go ahead and throw down his Spire, so it looks like his tech of choice will be in those Mutalisks. Of course, last time we did see the Hydralisk, the attempted Hydralisk. But this time around, just going to change it up, get a different army composition, and I mean, if Dream doesn't scout this could actually catch him by surprise. But he did get that earlier scan, so he should at least have some sort of inclination of the Mutalisk timing.
Yeah, I mean, he did see the layer timing. He did see there was, an additional gas at least going down in the main base, but I don't really think it's on his radar right now. What is on his radar, though, is trying to catch DRG with his pants down. We see a Hellbat timing coming out against him, which is a nightmare situation for an early Spire player. And Dream, if he didn't know before, he does know now, but let's see how this happens. DRG has an okay split on the Queens. We're seeing the Hellbat slowly but surely get targeted on down. And they are going to eventually be pushed back. I would love to see him try and get the medevac right now, but I can understand the damage on the Hellbats, and everything goes down without losing a single drone. Very clean defense coming out from DRG.
Yeah, but the fact that Dream was able to at least scout the Spire, I mean, you can see that he's already thrown down a bunch of barracks. And I feel like he should be okay against these Mutalisks, but of course, with the thing with Mutalisks is that if you get enough in numbers, it doesn't really matter how much turrets they have. You can pretty much snipe them pretty easily.
Yeah, we see Dream starting his turret right now. It's happening a little bit, slower than I would have thought it would have happened, but it's still happening. And honestly, I'm kind of digging his position here. He's even on workers, he's even on bases, he's scouted the mutas, probably will take limited damage from there, lose a couple of units here and there, nothing too crazy. If DRG can try and get combat shields, that would be nice actually. And there actually isn't that much anti-air here for our friend Dream. He has Widow Mines and a few Marines, and that is it, so he can just kind of dance over these all day. But it looks like that won't really be I think there's just barely enough. I think this Viking has done so much for this game. It's almost unbelievable. Like, killed a couple of Overlords, the Night Vision of the third, killed a Creep Tumor actually, which is pretty nifty. And now it's kind of acting as an anchor against his mutas, and now they're less of a threat, as time goes on. But DRG is still trying to hang in there. Gets his fourth base down, and a big Widow Mine shot! Woohoo! Don't like that.
That was juicy.
You don't like to see that. Yeah, big old juicy Widowmite connection there, and we have 3 Mutalisks already going down. Kind of weird that Dream got more Vikings, unless he's going for mech, but it doesn't seem to be that way. I mean, he's getting his +1 attack on the engine base, right? He's going to go for that early double factory. Or is that even early? I'm not sure, but it's a lot of factory. I'm used to watching Bjorn, and Bjorn just makes a bunch of bio and just goes, right? But yeah, I definitely do dig the heavy Widowmine style coming out here for Dream. This medevac actually on a disastrous clash course with these Mutalisks. Will he see it in time? DRG is going to see it, and yeah, that's 1 medevac and 4 Widowmines donated to the cause of DRG. Can't be too happy about that, huh, Snoopy?
I guess Christmas came early.
Christmas did indeed come early. Or Thanksgiving, as in thanks for giving me your supply, not get out of my game.
Yeah.
Uh, let's take a look at DRG side of the map now. Kind of see how he's been recovering from that early sort of push here, that early link speed rather. We see the creep spread, not as good as it was last game, but it's aight, you know. I mean, it's gonna spread out a decent bit more if I were to guess. The upgrades are coming on in pretty stellar. They're a little bit behind the Terrans, so there's gonna be a good 20-second window, maybe 25-second window where Dream has the edge on him, and actually he's going to be 3 upgrades ahead for a short period of time because his +2 is finishing so quickly.
Oh wow.
Maybe he can get the +3, yeah. But we'll have to wait and see. I definitely do appreciate the Mutalisk style coming out for DRG. I always love to see him Ling Bane Muta. I feel like it's so solid. And I feel like on Death War, where it's a very wide map, you got a lot of, you know, areas to cover, definitely gives him that map presence he needs.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like these Mutalisks going to go ahead and potentially meet up with the army. At the very least, he should know the army's here. Yeah. Okay, more Baneleys being 18 Baneleys. Wow, that is going to be, I think, more than enough to take on this army. But looks like Dream going to think twice about it. Going to go ahead and retreat a little bit, just to, you know, just kind of pick up some creep tumors here and there, but not commit too heavily.
Yeah, not at all. And you can see a DRG just doing up Mutalisk too. Julian! Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So that's the sound we make when they're... he goes back in for seconds. He wants more. He's a madman. And it looks like he's not super boxed in. I mean, it's kind of a nice map. It's going to take... looks like, if I'm looking closely, 1 Mutalisk goes down. He goes back in for thirds. He wants more. He is relentless. I'm not a huge fan, but I kind of have to appreciate how he did that. Because now, look at the third base. Oh, even I wasn't looking at this. A huge Ling Bane counterattack here. Not going to be able to really get any major damage, actually. That was going to be a lot. That was supposed to be a lot more disastrous than I think it was. And good defense is coming out here for Dream, actually. Multi-prong attack from DRG just kind of falling flat on its face.
Yeah, it's so unusual though. You don't really see this early, you know, sensor tower against against Zerg as Terran, but it has really helped him a lot, especially with these Ling and Baneling run bys. That allowed him to kind of spot them earlier on and was able to kind of pull his SCV just in time.
Yeah. I think without that, undoubtedly, there would have been a lot more SCV deaths there, as he was just so distracted with those Mutalisks. I think he was actually flying them in to try and bait Dream to kind of keep his attention there, you know, to see if he can score a big kill, and gotta appreciate it if that's the case. Meanwhile, on his side of the map back here, his hive is about to finish on up. We see +2 air weapons about to finish as well, so looks like Broodlords are actually going to be the name of the game here, if I had to guess. Oh wait, no, yes, Mutalist. What am I talking about? Still could be Broodlords. I would like Broodlords. You already have the air upgrades. I feel like we don't see Broodlords that often in ZBT. I feel like they're so underappreciated, Snoopy.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, Terran does have a lot of anti-air. I mean, they have the Marines, they have the Thors, they have Cyclones even, maybe. But, yeah, I think he was probably going to throw down the Ultralisk. And, yep, it looks like he's going to throw down the Ultralisk Cavern and start getting that.
Yeah, Dream's being shattered here a little bit right now, but Dream the player is actually doing not so bad. A good little sneak here by the Mutalisk, able to sneak in past the sensor towers, gets 5 SCVs, can't complain about that, denies the 5th base momentarily. Would have loved to see him try and hit that armory or one of those NG bays. That would have been pretty nifty. And now we see a big rolling Baneling commitment coming on in at the 3rd base, and it looks like it's not really going to find anything. Maybe a couple SCVs. 5th base for Dream, still unable to land here. He's going to go ahead and probably respond to that now, but I gotta say, I do like this play from DRG. He's just kind of trying to stay 1 base ahead of the Terran, trying to stay 1 tech move ahead of the Terran. I mean, right now, the biggest tech for Dream is his Thors right now. But, you know, those aren't really... They're good against Ultras, don't get me wrong, but they're not really the response against Ultras. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, we do see a little bit of a kind of a 2-prong attack here on the right side of the 3rd. Doesn't lose quite too much. Oh my god, that Thor, just barely hanging on. I mean, or just barely dying right now at the very least. But the Wood of Might will.
The friendly fire taking down the SCVs. Fantastic here from DRG, getting so much value out of his units. In fact, the unit's loss tab is actually favoring the Zerg. Can you believe that? In a ZVT, I mean, that just goes to show you how cost efficient DRG has been this whole game. That is very rare to see, especially 13 minutes into a game. Cagnes plating about to finish on up, as well as Anabolic Synthesis queued up as well. 3 Ultras on the way. And I feel like Dream, I mean, no Ghost Academy, I don't think so. yeah, no Ghost Academy, no additional Stargates for maybe Liberators. I mean, Dream's gonna have a heck of a time if DRG ever decides to move across the map once he gets those Ultras out.
Yeah, once those Ultras are out, that's going to be spelled disastrous for Dream because he doesn't really have too much to deal with it. He doesn't have any Liberators. He doesn't have any, heavy Marauders. I mean, he's definitely going to have to, get some additional Marauder production up. Maybe those doors actually could be pretty decent against those Ultras, but...
Oh yeah, fatty damage, and he does see it happening right now, so hopefully in the next minute or so, or 30 seconds, we're able to see his response to that, but DRG not really changing his pick style that much more. He gets more bases, he has, let's see, that's up to 7 right now, while still, the Mutalisks, huh? Did I miss it?
It was just in the tail end. The door got a really nice hit there. Does weaken a lot of these Mutalisks. Now he's only down to a total of 11, but again, like I said, he is transitioning into those Ultralisks. Now on the other side though, we do see that Dream is adding in on the Ghost Academy, which is going to help deal a little bit with that Ultralisk with those snipes.
Absolutely, yeah, you definitely need that, but my question is, look at the banks. I mean, if it's let's see, 7 bases to 5, and that's a very shaky 5 right now, might I ask you. The economy may just be too much, but hold that thought. Here we go. The Ultras and Banings are rolling all in. Ultras not the greatest offensively, but they can make it happen. And this 4th base location has been breached. The Ultras really just nomming through everything, and they are going to get cleaned up eventually in the end here. It needs to start running away. And oh no, actually, what is this? Dream just moves his entire army into this Ultras to face them. A very cost-inefficient trade they're coming out in for Dream, and 20 SCVs go down as well. And Dream, he's struggling to really find any footing in this game, and meanwhile DRG has taken almost every base on his side of the map. It's looking pretty rough, Snoopy.
Yeah, for sure. Dream is going to go ahead and try to attempt to take down this hatchery, but look at the map. I mean, he's already gotten a million other bases, so this is really not that detrimental to him to lose this hatchery.
And DRG with an amazing Ling run by again. I mean, isn't that sad? The first time Dream moves across the map and the best damage he gets done happens to himself at home. Right? That's the most damage that happens. He gets a huge Ling run by and forces himself to run away. Marauder trying to stim, but that anabolic synthesis really helping those Ultras stay on pace, stay on target. And I don't know, I feel like it's the beginning of the end here, Snoopy. The supply is dropping like a fly for Dream, and I think we might be seeing a tap out anytime here soon. He's trying, he's putting his Marauders behind mineral lines. The Ultralisk can't seem to figure out what sort of nonsense that is, but it may not even matter.
Yeah, he does try to micro his heart out, but I mean, 22 SCVs going down. Look at the worker supply. I mean, he's pretty much 50 workers ahead. I mean, really, pretty much this is DRG's game to lose from this point forward.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. Like, Dream was trying to micro his heart out, and then DRG was like, "Oh, you trying to get that out? Let me get that for you," and just pulled it out for him. I was like, "There you go, buddy. There you are. Hopefully that's all better now." Oh, it's really rough. He's down 60 supply. He's down half the workers. His tech is looking good though, and I don't want to. This is a much worse position than last game, but it's never over till it is over. Liberators and Ghosts can do amazing things in the late game. Mutalisks taking kind of a rough trade here, losing a lot of their numbers for the turrets. Honestly, I think he's pretty much done with the mutas. And as I say that, he starts to do more, so I guess he's not. But yeah, Dream just struggling to find any sort of footing. And another big attack coming on in this 4th base location is going to be forced to lift again. More SCV is going to go down. More position is going to get denied. Maybe even more army is going to die as well. Liberator is sending up and defending the empty space there. And the Ultras are forcing Dream all the way back into his natural big cleaves coming out from those Kaiser blades. And I know I said it last time, but 30 workers, 100 supply. I mean, I'm not feeling it. He's going to hold, but he's not going to be happy. He holds, but he's not happy. There we go. And the units lost tab still just barely by 200 minerals is going to go ahead and favor DRG. Gas-wise, okay, he's lost almost like 4,000 more. That kind of sucks. But it's still not that bad, especially for a long game. But Dream is still kind of holding on here, and it looks like he's going to get his first shot, which is actually going to do damage here over this on this rich Vespine gas base for DRG. He's going to get the hatchery for sure. And first bit of real damage we've seen from Dream in a while this game, Snoopy.
Yeah, he at least finally gets some type of win as but still a dire situation. Don't get me wrong, but
Oh yeah.
I mean, you need to at least start winning some battles before you can potentially win the war. The thing is that he's in quite such a deep hole that he's gonna need like a, I guess 100 more few battle wins there to at least kind of tie up the supply.
Yeah. I mean, winning a couple battles here and there are not going to win you the war. And DRG, while he is still, having some problems, I think, trying to close this game out, he is definitely finding it more and more as time goes on. The Mutafak is strong. The Mutafak is trading against these expensive tech units from Dream. Dream drops below 100 supply as another big lean counterattack enters into his natural and main base. And I feel like Dream, we're kind of seeing his last, what the hell, let's go ahead and try and kill the guys what I got push here. He's gonna go ahead and set it up, gonna target down the spores. Here we go, the spreads have to be insane, and he doesn't do anything at all. GG is called, and DRG will take game number 2, Snoop.
Yeah, goes up 2-0. So 1 game away from clinching the series. Dream is gonna have to start stepping up his game in order to kind of start getting the first point on the scoreboard, and then potentially a tie, and try to force it into a 5th and decisive match.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like what's kind of making me nervous is that DRG seems to have a lot of problems, like really closing things out properly. I feel like the last game kind of dragged on a little bit longer than it should, and Dream was getting a little bit more footing than he really should be afforded. But, who am I to judge? I think DRG was just taking his time, doing everything right, and just wanting to take 0 chances with that game. So it seemed very deserved. He seemed very hesitant to make the final blow, but you definitely couldn't say he didn't at least try. Aggression all over the place, counterattacks happening here and there.
Yeah, I think the problem is that in the early game, Dream's trying to get all these pressure and damage done, but hasn't really gotten too much, and that's kind of allowed DRG to just kind of go crazy on the macro. Both games, DRG just gone up really high in terms of the worker count. And so even though he suffers a few drones losses here and there to widow mines or something, like it doesn't really hurt him as much. So I think Dream needs to at least start getting some significant decent damage done in the early game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel like I would love to see if there's any one game to whip up proxy racks, it's Pillars of Gold. But spawning in the bottom left-hand position of Pillars of Gold, representing a freak of freaks and representing them well, it is the blue Zerg player DRG on match point.
And spawning here at the top right corner of the map is the red Terran player, representing Brave Star Gaming, looking to get his first point on the scoreboard. It is a Dream. Oh, I think Dream has heard you.
Did I say what? All right. If you would excuse me, I'm gonna take my predictions to the bank. I'll be back in a second. If I said there was one place to make them, if there was one time to do it, it's right now. And of course, DRG is gonna spawn it instantly, not even close. Oh, rats! I'm taking a look at the vision of Dream. And unfortunately, Dream is just outside of range. He doesn't know he's been spotted. And I just kind of feel this sinking feeling in the bottom of my heart. And I'm sure Dream will soon. I almost kind of wanted DRG to let him finish that. But here we go. Drones are going to get to work. They're actually starting a little bit late. And I'm not sure if that SCV will go down in time. Yeah, it does end up letting the barracks finish. But again, it's pretty rough. A lot of lucky pathing happening for this SCV. Is the second one actually going to finish as well? No way. Snoopy, we might have a game on our hands yet.
Might be able to. I mean, if you can get some... oh, wait, these drones are actually really go ahead and chase it. I was about to say, like, you should just...
IQ.
Oh, actually, I like
million
this.
IQ Marine Rally. Do you see that?
Yeah.
It's so smart. Now the drones can't deny it. It's just wasted mining time. And okay, as soon as I say that, he stops. But we see two SCVs giving each other the drills of love there, repairing each other's health. And behind us, did Dream, or rather did DRG really make anything in preparation for this? No, I mean, there's no lings out right now. The queens are still very far away, and it's looking pretty rough here. The drones just wanting to try and find some damage here. But the rally from Dream is so good, and the bunker is starting to get put up here. A sandwich opportunity coming out here for DRG, but he has to abandon it. Thankfully, the bunker does end up getting taken down on the natural. And the wind in the sails of Dream's push has kind of been deflated a little bit, Snoopy.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
It was looking rough, but and now I think it's a little bit better. I think he's just kind of settling to try and get these drones. This is hilarious. Just these drones taking a voyage across the entire map. I mean, I'm sure they'll be able to tell their drone buddies back at home all of their cool war stories about pillars and rocks and really weird thorny vines and stuff. But on the other side of the map, we see DRG with the counterattack, and this is going to cost Dream a lot of minerals to repair. That being said, 3 drones have gone down, and 6 drones have not been mining for the past however long. So, I mean, these drones are looking to complete their pilgrimage right around now. I'm going to go ahead and give them names in my head, just to, just out of respect, and see. Now that, everything is kind of normalized out a bit, the Marines are cleaning up the links back at home. I'm curious to see what Dream's follow-up is.
Yeah, I gotta say, after all that, who do you think got the better end of that?
Honestly, I kind of think it's a wash here. I mean, DRG really kind of, he held it, he didn't die, the bunker didn't go up, nothing too crazy happened. But at the same time, those 6 drones, like, they weren't mining for, like, a solid, like, couple minutes, right? Mm-hmm. Or, like, minute and a half or so. And he even lost 3 of them on the way back home, and all of his things that he sent on the other side of the map also died to the Marines as well. So I feel like this is an acceptable amount of non-damage, if that makes sense. It's an amount of damage you cannot get as a Terran and still be okay, right? He got a couple of things, and I think he can't be too angry with that. And he's even going to pick up the Creep Tumor, which is pretty nice too. So honestly, I think he's poised to have a very strong follow-up if he has anything in mind. But it's going to take a while. DRG has some time to macro on up. His button, he should just be pressing down that D key like his life depended on it. And it should be seeing a actually very normal game if I were to make a guess.
Yeah, well, start off with a pretty crazy, intense game, early game. Now has turned into kind of a calm, slow mid game here, as both players are trying to just get their bases established and start macroing up and starting to get that army composition that they want to go head into the mid game with.
Oh, this is the cute thing. He's targeting his alien to get the Creep Tumor. That's so cute. I haven't seen that in a while. But that aside, we seem to be seeing a 2-1-1 as a follow-up here for Dream. I definitely like it. I mean, as long as you have the reaction, you have the Marines, why not get Stim and send them across the map, Put those lazy bones to work. I'm not sure if DRG knows about this. Yeah, he doesn't really have too much of an idea. If I were to guess, we would be seeing an Evo chamber, maybe, a couple more queens in production, though his queen count is already pretty high, so I guess he's got that going for him. But yeah, I'm very curious. I think the rest of the game is going to rely on how this Marine drop comes out from Dream. And I'm honestly, if I had to take a guess, I would say DRG defends it no problem. Baning Nest is already done. He has a good amount of queens, and he has a good amount of links and great creep spread. So, I mean, prove me wrong. I'm pretty sure I would love to see Dream find some damage here, but it looks pretty good for DRG.
Alright, looks like he hasn't quite moved out yet with the... Okay, never mind, he did move out with the medevac. I think he was just waiting for a few more Marines here, but looks like we're going to have ourselves a little bit of a pressure here coming out of Dream. Let's see, what does DRG have? He is morphing on some nice banelings, but the question is, can he get some nice connections to help defend against this?
Yeah, he's got a couple of Hellbats as well. I would love to see the split up a little bit more, and Dream seems to agree. And here we go. The Banelings are more walking on in. It's a lot of them, to be sure, and it's forced to pick up, but a lot of Banelings do lose their lives to the Hellbats in order to force that maneuver there. Dream still kind of keeping the offensive up, still kind of on the back foot here is the push, but I think so far, from at least a damage perspective, Dream didn't really get what he's looking for.
Yeah, for sure. And still, DRG hasn't really lost too much. And again, once again, kind of pulling ahead in the worker count.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, maybe Dream is gonna find something cool with these Widow Mines. I would love to see, big connections. I'm sure all the non-Zerg players out there would love to see that too. But I kind of doubt it. He's been on top of that this whole game, and we can see the creep spread is already, in the main base, just a vision. He has creep all over his main base. He has a queen in position to see it. So, I mean, yeah, even the lings were running up there as soon as it happened. So, shouldn't find too much damage here. Maybe a drone will go down. Nah. DRG not even giving him a drone. Gives him some damage on the queen, and that's it. Meanwhile, in the middle of the map, though, Dream is trying to clean up some of this creep spread, and DRG gonna defend that pretty aggressively, but the link's kind of shrinking on in. Will start a good trade for Dream, but he definitely can't stay. Widow Mines, can they get a good hit? No, just hit the queen again, but using that position, Dream is gonna go ahead and cancel the forced base, and not bad damage at all here, Snoopy. Not bad at all.
Yeah, for sure. Pretty much kind of halting the basis of DRG, keeping it even, but gonna go ahead and fly these units here. Nice kind of abusing of the map really, trying to fly from the low base to the high ground.
Those banding connections kind of shivered me timbers, but it's not the end of the world there. Dream, I think he wants to keep up this aggression. He's been doing these Widowmine drops all series, and I gotta say, not the hugest fan. DRG seemed to be holding it off pretty well. He did get a couple of good connections late last game, but they were a little bit too late. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see. I feel like DRG knows this is coming. He has to have at least an idea that this is something he can do. But, no vision. And if he distracts DRG well enough, maybe he can find some damage.
Yeah, well, he is kind of distracting him a bit, right? He's got like 3 different medevacs out there full of units. And then he's also got one really sneaky Widow Mine drop here onto the left side. We'll, of course, keep our eyes locked on that once that commences. But another kind of a harassment here onto the right side. Oh, and here we go, the Widow Mines. He's finally have it.
Here we go. Okay, 5. Not bad. 5 is good. But, another one coming on in the natural. Okay, this one. That's not bad. But 10 drones going down. A pretty successful offensive move there. Dream also getting the cancel on the 4th base again in the bottom right-hand position a little bit earlier. And queens are still going down. And there's Widow Mines all over the base of DRG. Can't be too happy about that. All these things, all these pains, not really able to defend it very effectively. He needs those mutas, and they're just now popping out. But, Snoopy, it's been pretty rough so far. It's been rough goings.
Yeah, I mean, this is when the Dream is playing his best, though. When he's just like doing multi-prong attack, kind of microing like crazy. DRG has been pretty much on top of it the past few games, but right now, this last minute or so, hasn't really kept up with the harassment of Dream.
Ooh, the main base. Oh, okay. It looks like Widowmine was left over from a previous drop, and it's going to see if it can find some damage. We'll get a queen for his troubles, but nothing too much. And I think with the muteless coming out, it kind of signals the end of the whole, load up for, 4 Widowmines and a medevac and go ham sort of phase of the game, One interesting thing is I would love to see some overlords on the left-hand side of Pillars of Gold here. I mean, there's not really any Vikings. Well, there is a Viking, but he has muteless out now for vision, and it would help him against drops like this, where the Widowmines go down and 5 more drones go down in the main base. Meanwhile, in the 3rd base, big connection on some army units there for DRG. 7 more drones go down, and I kind of am digging this heavy Widowmine style, Snoopy. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, not only is it getting a few units here and there, but it's also kind of really delaying, the mining of DRG, because he's got to pull those drones every time the Widow Mine, drops down. So kind of, as we can see, bring up the income graph here. Yeah, Dream is just spiking up right now.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, of course, there's some good things going for both players. DRG's 2-2 is finished, and, Dream's 2-2 has just barely started. But at the same time, we've seen DRG try and stay 1 base up, and it's even right now. And he's going to go ahead and try and change it, do his signature, throw in a bunch of units, try and get a bunch of damage sort of style here. But there's so many Widow Mines. I feel like the connections are going to be huge. The Mutal is taking a huge amount of damage. The Thor's going to go ahead and target it on down. He does lose a few mutas, but the bio is just too much, and DRG slapped back to his side of the map. He thought the upgrade advantage could maybe give him something, but such is not the case. The economy was not there, and now Dream thinks he has a very good shot at delivering a lot of counter damage to DRG.
Yeah, I'm getting a little worried here for DRG. He's kind of equal on bases. I mean, he just took his 5th base, but for the longest time, he's been pretty much on equal bases compared to the Terran. Dream looks like he's doing once again that Widowmine drop here on to the 3rd base. But once again, nice reaction time.
Yeah, handled a little bit better that time, and a nice Link counterattack in the natural base. But this is pretty much the entire army. It's kind of the funny thing, because Dream is going to move on to this 5th base and get another cancel. DRG just can't really seem to get anything happening anywhere. Mutas and a couple of Banings would try and defend this 4th base, but it seems like an impossible ask, and it looks like he's gonna get some really good Baning connections. Actually, give me a zoom, look at that, and now the Mutas should be able to clean that up. Actually, a little bit of a miscontrol there coming from Dream, and a lot of SCVs dying on his side of the map. And we see that reflecting the supply. It's evening up a little bit. The Mutas fighting the Marines, like I mentioned earlier, and now all these units may end up going down. The medevac's getting targeted as well, but the reinforcements are here to try and prevent that. So DRG settles for the Marauders and just has to try and hang on for a little bit longer.
Oh man, it's a little bit unfortunate because Dream was looking to be pretty much on its way to a victory, but all of a sudden, kind of giving DRG a kind of an opening here.
Yeah, a lot of unfortunate events happening back-to-back for DRG. Doesn't even have any Banings. Yes, 3. The 5th base gets cancelled again. Puts back down immediately. Probably going to get cancelled again immediately. It's all coming down to the Mutalists. Can they find what they need? They target down the Widowmines really well. He's trying to get the Thor. Really good micro coming out for Dream, but it's just not quite there. And the push will get cleaned up once more. And Dream forced to run back home, tail tucked between his legs once again. How does he do it, Snoopy?
He's just so good. There's a reason why he has, finished pretty high in the past few GSL seasons. He is just showing, or at least trying to make a case that he is one of the top Zergs out there.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't think a year ago anybody would have had him on, on their radar as much as they have him on their radar right now. I mean, DRG is back and better than ever. As I say that, loses like 4-ish Mutalist, maybe there's actually 2 there. Okay, now 3? I don't know. Wasn't keeping count there. Almost flies into the army, but avoids it. And even though the army supply is still favoring Dream here, the tempo that DRG has, the map priority that he has with these Mutalists can't be ignored. And I think Dream needs to find a better solution to these Mutas. Thors are good. Widowmines are good, Marines are good, they're everything he wants, but I think it's just in the control of his army that needs just that little bit more refinement,
Yeah, we do see another Widowmine drop. Does get some nice significant damage here.
Oh man, 11 drones. You can see it on that one Widowmine that just died in the main base. That one got all the kills. That's not what you want to be seeing. That was pretty much DRG's entire lead there was. He was up 20 workers over Dream, so Widowmines, just goes to show you really only need 1. You only need it to work once, and it all pays for itself. A small drop of Marines over here will not spell doom and gloom for DRG, but definitely at least a little bit of annoyance. Going to cause him to move a disproportionate amount of his army back to defend. Meanwhile, the 5th base, again under assault by Dream, and I think if he loses it one more time, I don't know how he's going to come back. Well, here's one thing he can try. He's gonna fly in with his Mutalist into the natural base. That's definitely one way to do it. I mean, if you get on top of literally all the production, maybe something happens. Over a bunch of Widowmines there kind of give me the heebie-jeebies. I mean, we have a full-on base race here, and Dream is actually gonna turn around and walk back. Not really what you want to be seeing. I mean, you're kind of just confronting yourself to take a bunch of damage, but I guess he doesn't really want to lose his whole economy. Maybe he thinks he can still grind it out over the long term, and Dream is going to go ahead and retreat, and DRG is allowed.
Oh,
no. One more chance back in this game, but not really. GG is called, and Dream wins his first match in this best of 5, Snoop.
Yeah, he keeps his hopes alive, gives himself a fighting chance, and that's really what you can, what all you can really ask for, right? I mean, he's down 0-2. He's pretty much has to go 3 straight wins to have any chance to advance to the next group stage, or I guess to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean it's a tough call for anyone, right? I mean, DRG is such a scary Zerg player right now. Oh, DRG is not ready. Oh, did I go on the wrong one? Oh. Let me try again. I went to this map called Core Hall Small and Light by Wargirl67, which something tells me not really in the map right now. It seems to be a really weird two-player map that kind of looks like a pretzel. Don't want that. So good looking out, DRG. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to believe the game started from a proxy 2-Rax build, huh?
Yeah, I mean that was a good idea. I mean, it ended up with him winning, right? So it must have worked somehow.
Yeah, I mean, something happened there. And like I said, those 6 drones running around and dying, that's definitely something, That's some damage. And I feel like that was ultimately, just what Dream needed to in order to, initiate phase 2, as it were.
Yeah, and that was also a great map to actually proxy because, even if you get scouted like you did, you can kind of, position the barracks so that the Marines can pop out on the other side and be safe from those drones. So really great decision there to go ahead and go for that proxy build.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I really love that proxy, and I'd even love another proxy, but let's go ahead and introduce our players first. Spawning in the top left-hand position of Lightshade, still holding a nice, comfortable 1-game advantage over Dream, still on match point, just needs one more to make it work. It is DRG.
And spawning here at the bottom right corner of the map is the red Terran player from Brave Star Gaming, looking to tie up the series. Guys, can he do it? Give it up for Dream.
Well, he's mostly spawning in the bottom right-hand position of Lightshade Snoopy. He's mostly spawning there, but do you see what I see?
Oh yeah.
I see 2 racks that are gonna kill DRG. Maybe. The Overlord is gonna actually scout that, but oh no, is it? Let's look at where it's rallied. Overlords have unusually high vision, but okay, yeah, no, he's gonna definitely be able to see that. But the question is, how is he gonna respond differently? It's the same exact build coming up from Dream, even kind of the exact same execution here as well. He's gonna kind of squeeze them together, make sure that if the drones do hop on top of the barracks, he can just rally them inside that little nook right there. So. Yeah, no drones coming out to go ahead and deny these, so they will get up, and it's going to be all up to DRG to see what he wants to do to defend against this. I'm feeling a little bit nervous for him. The spawning pool, not exceptionally early by any means, and the first Marine already halfway through. The bunker undoubtedly going to go down here pretty soon, and DRG's got to be sweating Snoop.
Yeah, this time around, not gonna... Oh, actually, as I say that, he is going to pull the drones here. Get some nice little poke here at the SCV. But it's going to come down to pretty much the micro and the execution here.
Yeah, how much time can you buy for your links to finish, for your queens to come out, right? And how little damage can you take while doing so? I think these 5 drones, he's being a little bit too scared right now. Does he want to try and go for the wraparound? It looks like it, but the bunker is starting to go up, and now there's 2 more Marines. I feel like that might have costed DRG quite a decent amount. Where are these drones going? They're just kind of sitting in the middle of the map. And I don't really like this. The bunker right here is not really going to get finished on up, which is kind of a strange decision, but I can understand it. Oh, and a big surround coming out, Snoop. Your gasp of shock were correct, and the Marines end up dying. 3 drones go down, but I think we saw a very critical miscontrol there coming out from Dream. And now all these Marines are trapped. They ain't got nowhere to go, no one to love them, no place to call home, except the cruel jaws of a Zergling.
Yeah, I mean, really stark comparison to the last game, compared to the last game. And right now, Dream's going to go ahead and abandon the ship and going to go ahead and try to kind of transition out of this. But man, he is quite behind here.
Yeah, okay, he's definitely a lot more behind than he was last game. And I feel like DRG didn't take nearly as much damage. He still lost 3 drones, but the other 3 weren't running around the map for like 20 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And he's not gonna make, too many lings, send them across and die, He's gonna send them across, but I think he knows he killed most of the Marines here, and that there's definitely more of an opportunity to get some more damage here. Ling's already nibbling away at stuff, and Dream gotta be kind of in an awkward position here. Goes for the triple CC build again, but I don't really like it as much this time as I did last time around. I just feel like, DRG is gonna out macro that, and if he even catches a sniff of that, he very easily can go ahead and make a big swath of Lings and Banes, or Roaches, it looks like, is a follow-up from him. I wouldn't put it above him to make some Roaches, and I don't know. It's looking kind of rough, Snoop.
Yeah, I mean, to just on the look at the bird's eye view of the map, roach rushes on this map is actually pretty good. Even
Oh yeah.
despite the proxy or anything, just in the regular game, if you can go ahead and catch your opponent off guard and they don't see it coming, it can actually deal really significant damage and kind of almost outright win you the game. So I like this decision there by DRG, going for that roach. Might actually want to go ahead and just just go across the map and just outright kill him. Really, what does Dream has?
Absolutely, yeah. Dream has pretty much committed himself to have nothing for the next, 3 or 4 minutes of the game with that early third CC and all these upgrades coming out and the Vikings and the add-ons and I don't know. I feel like, yeah, here we go. This is exactly what I'm talking about. DRG is going to make 8 roaches and rally them right. If you look at the other side of the map, right by this little spot right here, he's going to go ahead and rally all of those roaches. And I feel like that might be the death of Dream here. Dream, I think DRG has picked up on the fact that Dream likes to be a little bit greedy, throwing those 3 CCs whenever he can, and now he's going to have to pay the price. Immediately, 2 bunkers are going on down. It is spotted at least a little bit early, and a siege tank will pop out in the next minute or so to help out with the defense. And there is no high ground vision here, so maybe there is some damage to be found here, but it's going to take some time. The STBs have to be pulled prematurely. He cannot take any risk with this. If he does, he will die. And the roaches, the pathing actually getting pretty messed up, but already 9 STBs going on down before the bunkers finish. And there's more Lings and more Ravagers on production here for DRG. And it looks like he doesn't want to try and macro out of this. He just wants to smash the teeth of Dream back into his face. Gonna go ahead and position that siege tank on the low ground. Kind of curious as to why he doesn't put that on the high ground, but I guess it doesn't really cover everything he needs to cover. This way DRG doesn't get any really sneaky sneaks behind the mineral line. But it's still so much Zerg, and there's still so much Zerg being made here. I feel like if Dream holds on to this, he can be in a fantastic position, but that's a big if. Lings immediately surround the siege tank. Biles are going to rain down on the bunkers and not going to die just yet, it looks like, but more SCVs going down. 1 bunker goes down. The siege tank, I almost feel like he shouldn't siege it, but what else is there to do? The Biles are going to go ahead and take down that bunker as well. 40 to 14 armor supply, and I feel like Dream, the 3 CCs just didn't work out for him, man. It looks like he is going to go ahead and lose this last siege tank, the last bastion of hope he could ever have to defend this in a relatively macroable position, right? So there's not really much he has going for him at this point. I mean, the Lings are going to run into the main base. Dream's going to have to pull even more workers, and Snoop, I think this is where you lift your buildings off and just try and get DRG tired for the next time you see him.
This is where you pretty much GG out. There's really nothing.
There we go.
Yeah, there's really nothing that Dream can do, and DRG will win it.